Hey everybody, Orange Podcast Bad. For those of you who listen on Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, Pandora, I just posted Friday's episode today. It's available. It's live now. It was live at 8 o'clock Eastern, where we made fun of our friend Edward. He couldn't make Friday's show because he thought he was at a NASCAR race in Canada, and we all poked fun of him when we saw videos of quarter midgets racing. We're totally cool with going to quarter midget races, but that's not NASCAR. And we had a good time at Edward's expense. I don't know if he's still sleeping because he's not here again today. But that's where we're at.
He's dreaming about Winston Cup.
I thought maybe he was out signing up people to sign the Declaration of Independence in Canada.
Well, I've been trying to get him to do that for 2 years, and it took me almost 2 years to get him to realize Canada is still a British colony under the Crown, even though through Constitution they've limited some of the King's powers. It's also in their Constitution that the King can nationalize Canada.
Anything.
Yes.
Okay, Dominion, I've said it before, I'll say it again just for what it's worth. England knew there was no way they could get troops from the colonies to fight the Germans, and they knew it was coming. So they knew like Lyndon B. Johnson talked about with the blacks, we got to give them something, but not too much because they be uppity. Anyway, so basically, Dominion status.
You're fucked up, dude.
There was this faux patina of being an independent nation, so you would send your young boys in our next quest for death. And that's exactly what it was. In New Zealand, Australia, everybody fell for it. I mean, India didn't fall for it, but, they were still really a full colony at that point. And you look at all the Canadian and New Zealand and Australian bloodshed in the world wars. Oh, yeah.
About Palestine, do they not realize that the whole of what is now modern Israel was a British colony until the 1940s?
Yeah.
Listen, I really don't even want to go down that road because they're the Palestinians.
No. I get that. I'm just saying the whole of the current map was a British colony until the 1940s.
Oh, no, most people 42 or 43. Yeah.
Most people have no clue of any of that being history.
Right.
They just have no idea. They think they're led to believe that so-and-so, it was somebody else's land.
And it's so frustrating that these folks try to, speak like they're an SME or something, and they have no idea.
None.
Because you didn't pay attention in school, dude. I mean, I gotta say, we learned all of that when I was in public school. We learned all of it. We learned about Gaza. We learned about the Palestinians. We learned about the state of Israel from World War II on. And World War II, we talked about Rommel in North Africa and, Anzio and, we learned all of that. And today's kids just, they don't even know. And I got to tell you, what's heartbreaking to me is in 98 or 99, Tanya and so I was working in Bosnia. Tanya was my interpreter.
Wow.
And we had investigators and stuff from all over the world, right? So we had become friends with these three Egyptian guys. They were just so cool, laid back, just fun to be with guys, right? And so Tanya said, I've always wanted to go to Egypt. So this one of the guys, it's just like being a New Yorker. This guy's like, hey, I got a cousin who's got a brother, his son-in-law. He's got this tour thing. Yeah, we'll hook you up. And he did. So we went to Egypt and went to Karnak's temple and Tutankhamun and Giza and all that kind of stuff. And it was just really, really cool. But today's young people, they just don't, I don't know.
Well, they don't even have an interest in looking at it because they're just taught that your personal emotions are the only thing that matters.
Right.
And that's it. And I've got a kid still in school, too, graduated. And I'll just listen to her. And sometimes I'm just like, oh, Jesus. I mean, she was the biggest, she was a little kid at the time, the biggest Trump fan in the world before his first term. And now, because 10 years, 9 years have passed?
Right.
She's in her last year of junior high. We'll go into high school after this.
Oh, going to high school as a freshman? Yeah.
She'll be in 8th grade, so she'll go into high school a year from now to put the age perspective in. And she's like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with the orange guy. And
orange
she's
man bad.
Like, you could just see the school has totally, that's their focus, is indoctrination. And me watching this progress over the last 9 or 10 years, you're just like, they didn't like it, like answering questions or correcting, or she'll say something about a world event. I'll say, that's not what happened at all.
No.
Stop using Wikipedia as a reference, honey.
I even had a high school teacher who was evolved enough to tell the truth about World War II. And in World War II, and I know people are starting to talk about Churchill or whatever, but the fact is, Neville Chamberlain was in charge in Britain, and he was absolutely going to let Hitler do what Hitler wanted to do. I mean, peace in our time. You could have subbed him in for Beta O'Rourke. I mean, that's who he was. All right. And yet, someone would say, well, how did Churchill get elected? And the answer is, and my teacher told me, admitted it, that, Churchill could have never gotten elected until the Nazis invaded the sacred USSR. And all of a sudden, the left wing came in all for Churchill. Man, we got to get Hitler now. He did something wrong. He's hurting the workers' paradise.
Yeah.
That's the future. Yeah. Jesus. And so immediately after World War II, it makes sense now. I asked the question, how the hell did he get kicked out? Well, once Hitler was gone, it's safe to be a communist again.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, and it's
am
I
really
wrong?
No, you're not wrong. And what I got to tell you, JC, what makes it worse is our parents, that, generation. My dad fought Rommel in North Africa.
So did mine.
He fought in Anzio in Italy, and it was not until he passed away and I'm setting up his funeral at a VA National Cemetery that I got a package one day with all of his ribbons. And there was not one, but 2 Bronze Stars.
Man.
Dad, really? Would that be like something you would tell your son? You know?
Silent generation. Remember the silent generation.
But you know what I mean, JC? The reason we didn't get all that information was because, like Sean said, it was the silent generation.
They figured those that were in charge had our best interest at heart, so that you're just going to go with it.
Yeah. Yep.
And what a wake-up call, huh?
My God, you know, I always looked up to my dad. You know, he was strict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He ruled me and my brother with his Baylor ring. He would turn that ring around and go, "Yucca!"
There you go.
And so, you know, we had a great deal of 20 feet away respect for him, you know, but
give him a lot of room. Yeah.
JC, there was never a war story. There was never, you know, bloviating or, you know what I mean, Sean? You know, no puffing of the chest and, yeah, I did,
Nothing. Nothing.
My dad and my brother and I built my first house. My dad was 74 when I built my first house. And me and my brother just kind of set him up on the slab with a chop saw. And my brother and I were doing the framing. And we go, 72 5/8, Papa. And he, you know, he'd cut it and sling it to us and stuff. But, you know, he never, ever said a war story or, now I have to say one time he did say that the North Africa stuff was so fast back and forth, dominating and retreating, that he said we would literally jump back into half tracks that still had the keys in them and use them to, you know, go back and regroup and stuff.
Well,
but
you know, Patton, you know,
anything that he did, you know.
Well, he had Patton down there, and when Patton was around, things happened fast. I mean, he never let the grass grow under his feet. There's actually a story that your dad didn't tell me, and neither did mine. But he says there's Patton sitting up on top of the hill watching him sweep Rommel out of there, screaming, "I read your book, you bastards!"
Yeah, that's right. I read your book, you paper hanging son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Sean, you know what a paper hanging son of a bitch is?
No.
It's a guy. So Hitler, in his youth, used to hang wallpaper.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Just out of the blue, let's go with things we didn't know for 1,000. What is a son of a gun?
Oh, I think you're going to educate.
It's Revolutionary War era term.
Go ahead.
A boy born between 2 cannons on a naval vessel.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, son of a gun.
Literally?
Yeah, because the women had to give birth on these tiny vessels while they were coming and going and fighting and trying to get to the new world. Son of a gun.
Shit. You talk about tough. Born between 2 cannons. Yeah.
Right.
So when people looked at those boys as they got older, they would say "son of a gun," and it was a compliment. Okay. It wasn't something derogatory.
Wow.
There's an old friend of mine that I had that was a Serb. Those guys know how to fight too. and he'd like, "You're a son of a gun." And it was clear that it was always a term of endearment. It was when I
Yeah.
had made a joke or something. Yeah, it wasn't "you asshole" at all. He's the only one who ever said that to me repeatedly.
For sure. Hey, so I got to get into this thing. Let me start here. Do you guys, one of you may know, we had two capital cities before we incorporated the District of Columbia under the leisure of Congress, is where the District of Columbia exists. Do you two know where our first capital cities were?
It was New York.
First one, for about a year, and then
Charleston.
My wild ass guess would be Philadelphia.
Philadelphia up until about 1800. So 1 year, New York, and then Philadelphia. So they all had state control of the property that the capital existed on, and therefore law enforcement was up to the state at that time. Could have been federalized, but we had no reason to do anything like that. So
We
at
didn't have a
about
bunch of we didn't have a bunch of traitors in our capital city.
in about 1800, we moved into the districts of Virginia and Maryland. Both gave up land on the Potomac, created this district that was supposed to be run by Congress. And everything Congress does, they don't want to do the job. And over the next 230, 40 years, they seceded to the city of Washington, D.C. You will run your own city. And right, it's turned into a shithole like any other major city.
Oh yeah.
And today, Trump said,
Trump turned it over to Bondi.
we are federalizing the Capitol Police. I got a couple more things I got to say before we go.
Go ahead.
Federal police aren't, or DC Capitol Police aren't just in DC. DC Capitol
Yeah.
Police work in federal facilities all across the country, and they have now just been activated and federalized. And under Bondi, they're obviously Trump is the president, but Bondi
Yeah.
is in charge of all of them now. They have been removed from whatever locality, including DC. Mayor Burial
Bowser. Yeah,
Bowser,
the dog. Yeah.
right? She no longer has control of the Capitol Police in DC. They're all federalized, including San Francisco. We'll get to that later. That's
Well,
going
no,
to play
there's another. Pelosi opened several other Capitol Police offices after January 6th, and that was part of the pincer movement to subdue us. That's what the whole
well,
thing was. COVID and everything else was about us having no freedom, no say whatsoever.
that's where, yeah, and so this is where it gets important that people aren't talking about how all of the other districts with Capitol Police are now federalized,
Yeah.
including San Francisco. All right, so that happened. Everyone loses their shit. Trump also calls in National Guard. Paul, from my understanding, the National Guard has the power to protect life and property and the
Yes.
authority to detain. Nothing else. Same as they did in L.A. County.
Yeah,
Let
Katrina,
me,
all of that. That's all the same. Yeah.
any thoughts on that? Trump's not pushing any boundaries that makes you uncomfortable with them.
No.
No,
Oh, for
absolutely not.
Christ's sake.
Go ahead, JC. Sorry.
No, I just spotted a guy that I last saw in a milk carton.
There's the top half of a Canuck. No. Let me, before we get into that, Paul. Any issues with what with Trump has done so far with this nationalization of Capitol Police and the use of National Guards?
No, absolutely not. He's well within his constitutional right to affect those things. And we've seen it before, literally under
Lincoln did it.
Nixon.
Lincoln did it.
Yeah.
Lincoln did it. Nixon did
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Yep. Cleveland, he did it. And like I said, never mind.
Well, no, Eisenhower did it to desegregate the schools in the South.
Yeah, 100% did.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he did. Until Edward unfreezes, I just want to throw this in. I've gotten to the point where I simply trust Trump. I don't need to listen to War Room and that other nonsense every day because the president's not assaulting my liberty. And in fact, it's a real pleasure to get back to listening to people like Megyn Kelly and to hear alternate views on things because not everything is a life and death struggle with personal liberty. He's got our back, and the idea that we need to get to the ramparts to pressure Congress. Good God, Congress isn't going to do anything. You know that. They don't do anything. They're on vacation. They've delegated their authority for everything to anyone who'll take it, because when you try to set policy in D.C., you're going to piss off somebody, so they might not vote for me. And, they've become so risk averse, they don't want to do anything except spend money and lavish it on lobbyists. That's all they do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right,
Yeah,
JC.
so no, I have no problem with what Trump's doing. I think it's overdue, actually, but I understand, and I'm going to say this for the last time tonight anyway. It all makes sense if you look in the rearview mirror. We're all sitting there going, is anybody going to get arrested? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Why isn't anything happening? He needed the money. He had to have the money. On July 3rd, he got the money. He got the money. Yep. So now, where's the money going to come from to federalize D.C.? It's a big, beautiful bill. Yep. He's got complete discretion over it. Where's the money going to come from for the National Guard for this? What about the deportations? Big, beautiful bill. He's got all the money he needs. And those stupid bastards back in 17 and 18, you should have just let him build that wall, and he'd have never gotten elected again. Because you could have tried and feather him like you did, and it would have worked. But you couldn't give an inch, and now you're going to pay the ultimate price. And it's a beautiful thing.
It really is. And now that Lynn Buckingham from Canada has joined us.
Come on, I'm your favorite Canadian. Knock it off already. You know I am.
You clown.
You're a good sport.
You tell me that some bitch doesn't look like Lindsey Buckingham. He does.
Yeah. I'm starting to hum Fleetwood Mac.
That's funny. Oh, my God. Hey, gentlemen, I got to report in and talk about this stupid fire thing going on up here. The country's on fire. You've already heard about it. Climate change is afoot. We're trying to control the climate up here because, the temperatures have skyrocketed. You see what's going on southern Ontario. We've never, ever had temperatures close to the hundreds before. You know that, Sean. I mean, come on. The ridiculousness is just too much. We talked about our similar climates from Indiana to southern Ontario, and these dum-dums are making it look like we've never had a dry summer before, and climate change is responsible. So we've banned everybody from going in the forest. You can't go no camping, no fishing.
$25,000 fine somebody just got for walking in the forest.
So you have seen, all right.
Whoa, so that's serious. It's a true story.
Yeah, I believe you. I mean, they're fucking nuts up there. They really are.
True. Absolutely.
Edward, we're gonna get together and we're gonna send Gore up there with his flamethrower to melt some glaciers down so you can have some water to put those fires out, okay?
Correct. You know what? You know what's so odd about this whole thing? Years ago, we used to have forest rangers that looked after fires. We used to have lookouts, like, wooden structures they climbed up on with binoculars and look around and see if there's any fires. We don't have that anymore. We've cut that out. We got these great big, beautiful water bombers that can scoop up water in a lake and put a fire out like that. But no, we're not using any of that anymore.
Well, no.
What's that?
That's bad for the environment.
Well, great.
Yes.
So we've quit doing all that stuff. I mean, the ridiculousness up here, gentlemen, is just off the scale. I just can't comment enough on how ridiculous this whole thing's got. So anytime you guys think that we should call for independence, just let me know so I can start the ball rolling here.
We've been trying to tell you that for 3 years.
I know.
You could literally
I know,
copy
brother.
and paste
I
our
told you, this is
declaration, and instead of America, you put Canada in the spot. Copy, paste it, send it to your frickin' awful king, and get it over with.
Correct. No, sign the paper already, people. I have gone into many spaces, the Canadian ones up here, and they hate my guts because they think I'm off my rocker, thinking that, what, socialism's coming into communism now? I said, yes, you wait, it's going to get worse. I said, those forest fires we had, remember last year and the year before where America was covered in smoke because of our fires? How come we didn't have lockdowns then? Why now? I know why, because COVID with the lockdowns, they weren't we better not do it now. It's too soon. The people are really going to rebel. But now we'll give it a couple of years to cool off. They'll forget about it. And now we're going to have lockdowns again for forest fires, which is just the most retarded thing.
The lockdown was pre-planned, but it was supposed to be the bird flu.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
well,
I remember H1N1.
I never knew that an election could stop a pandemic.
Very good. That's very funny.
What the hell are we supposed to do with all these vaccines that fuckwad purchased?
Yeah,
Biden or the auto pen purchased.
The auto pen, yeah. Oh my God. And you know what? The bell's got a ring for that one too. The auto pen thing, that goes directly in the face of everything and every American today. Something's going to be done and somebody held accountable and to jail right away. We just can't wait another year for that. It should be dealt with right away because we already know Biden wasn't doing anything. Well, he was trying to, of course, hamper our dealings up here. But if anything useful or good for America, he was out to lunch on the beach having ice cream. Come on.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
for sure. Yeah.
you won't see any results on that this year.
Yeah, nobody's arguing that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, no, but you won't see any results on that this year.
It's not. It's
we
not
had to get the
top
funding,
priority.
the one big beautiful bill, and so we could hire DOJ members, attorneys,
Yes.
prosecutors.
You had to have the money.
He's
Yeah.
got it. He's got it.
Paul.
Yes, Paul.
Yeah, so I've got something totally off topic, but it's important that I bring it up now because it's Monday.
All right.
On Wednesday, at the ranch, we're having a soiree.
Oh,
Ooh.
Southern soiree.
So my wife's birthday is the 14th.
Oh, yeah.
My birthday is the 13th. My sister's birthday is today, the 11th. And my son's birthday is the 18th. So
Yeah.
we are
Fun.
we are doing a throwdown on Wednesday night. And just so I just want to throw this out here. The airport designation is TYR. So
Hell
Got
yeah.
it.
you could go Charlotte to TYR or Creve to TYR or bumfuck Canada to TYR.
Toronto.
You guys would be welcome down here for the soiree.
Yeah, that thing. That's Southern party. Soiree.
Yeah.
Love that. Of course, I can't make it because we're burning to the ground here, so I can't get out. All the planes are grounded because the tires are melted. You can't take
Yeah,
off with flat tires. So yeah, everything's getting shut down because of it. It's just too hot to fly. Apparently, I don't know. I don't get it.
yeah.
All right, so federalizing Capitol Police. I already mentioned that DC Capitol Police don't just exist in DC. What do you think if Bondi starts moving assets from Capitol Police into areas that we need to squash crime, Paul?
So here's what I think. I really do. I think the DC Capitol Police are all about law enforcement. And they have been frustrated that they've had these liberal shackles put on them, where, for example, a fucking minority lieutenant could shoot an unarmed female
Babbitt.
and get promoted. I think the working ranks are like, this is fucked up.
I
If
think they've
you will,
been.
if you will turn the tap and let us do our thing, we know what to do with 17-year-old wannabe thugs. We know we could kick their ass because and it's not racist
No, God,
because
no.
95% of the Capitol Police are a minority. So they're going to go out and they're going to do, you know, Sean, I liken it to a minority football court coach, you know, at a minority high school. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep, sure
can't
do.
remember, there's several movies out about it, but they're like, I ain't putting up with your thuggery bullshit. You're going to act like a gentleman. You're going to do what you're supposed to, you know what I mean? I
Right.
think if they turn it over to Bondi and she does the right thing, that's what it's going to be like. You're going to have most of the police department being, you know, coaches and
Right.
going, hey, come here, son. Come here. You know, grab him by the shirt and go, hey, you ain't doing that shit here. We're going to
Correct.
kick your ass and take you to jail.
And you know
And,
what's
and
more,
they're like,
Paul?
sorry, sir, you know,
Well,
and go home to grandma. And
hey, hang on, Edward, because Paul's onto something. Because Trump also posted on True Social. I have authorized. He goes, "There's so many people who use spit as a weapon, and it is absolutely a weapon, especially if you have an infectious disease."
Well, yeah,
And he goes, "So our new policy is, if you spit, we hit, and we hit very hard."
good. It's about time. You know, we get rid of some of that liberal policy that the police force has adopted, you know, because they've been forced to. And you know what I'm talking about as far as getting any money out of the government, you know, as far as you do as we say, you're not getting any funding. That's been going on for a while. You got to stop that and go back to normal. And let's face it, all these immigrants, it's not like they're top class, refined, civilized citizens. You know, we've all been getting the worst. I mean, you know, they want to save money too, so they're emptying the jail cells out. Like Trump said, you know, giving us all the people that cost them money, you know, not and saving all the ones that are going to help them more than us, of course. So we're getting all that garbage. And it's about time that someone did, you know. And if you were a brand new citizen in another country, wouldn't you be minding your P's and Q's and, you know, feeling more obligated to be more American minded than where you came from? Wouldn't you want
so,
to do that instead of just rob people and start beating them up and what they're doing today? Come on.
so, so let me tell you something. In my world, right? So we're we're building an apartment in the Balkans.
All right.
And that's where Tanya's from. Her parents live there, her brother lives there. And when we go back, I automatically uh, go to the embassy and say, hey, we're going to be at 3942 Dubrovka Street in Doughboy, and that's where we're going to live, and let the State Department know. And then I also go to the police department and go, hey, my wife and I are here. And some of those guys remember me from back in the day. You know what I mean, Sean?
Sure.
They remember me from. They're like, bro, I remember you from '99. You know, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm still here. My wife and I are 26 years married, and they're like, hey, anything you need, you let us know. You just let us know. And so, but we always do that out of respect. You know what I mean, Edward?
I do.
It's a respect, to the other country.
Yeah, absolutely. And stopping in there just to make a presence known. When you're talking about that, I was thinking, how we haven't seen in a while is Terry. I mean, we should have him on. He's funnier. I don't care if we black screen the guy because I know he needs, to be, kept kind of under the.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be fun? I mean,
Yep.
my goodness.
That'd be fun. Well, hey, listen, I've already asked him, and he says, I'm not interested. So you guys DM him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, because he
No.
wants to stay low profile. And
I know that, but
he's like, spaces, nobody can really see who I am. They hear my voice. He goes, even a phone call on the podcast with no screen. He's just like, I like being private.
yeah, I know.
Now,
I didn't realize
I've
that.
already served my 20.
Yeah.
I'm at retirement age. I
Yeah.
just hang out on spaces to give me something to do.
Yeah.
But I would love to have Terry on. Fuck
He-
yeah. He
Fuck
would have been
guy.
great for this conversation about Capitol Police.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you, Sean, what's funny is my colleague, my work wife, Scott,
Yep.
highly decorated attack helicopter pilot whose attack helicopter work earned him a spot at the Pentagon where he worked for 7 years.
Wow.
And I've invited him onto the podcast a couple
Yeah.
of times. And I'm like, Sean and JC and Edward, dude, we would love to have you on and hear some of your stories. And he said, absolutely not. I am not.
Some
No.
people just won't do it. Just
Yeah,
won't, and that's okay.
he just does not want to put his name.
Don't
He
want to be
didn't want
public.
any recognition. The guy's got bronze stars. I mean, he's decorated, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, pal. I like working with you and stuff, but you're not dragging me into your shit.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, we got you.
Huh?
I don't think that they're going to broadcast my face, but obviously I broke something with my looks. Not the first time.
Huh?
Hey, we all have faces for radio, guys, so we're all in the same
look,
club.
I-
We're
I-
there.
Your face is so big, dude. You're like,
Step away from the phone. Yeah.
No, I actually have a size 8 hat size. I mean, no, I have a massive head.
Oh, Mr. Pumpkinhead.
Huh?
Yeah, I can't see it.
Wait,
Mr. Potato Head. Yeah,
wait, did you just say you have 8 head?
A head. No, I don't have a 5 head like you, Paul.
because I get head.
Polish this off. Yeah.
All right, let me move you guys. So there was a signal sent out by Trump today saying more cities will be next. And every state has constitutions about how their National Guard reacts, how their National Guard, who's in charge. Obviously in California, uh, Newsom was not successful in federalizing, or when Trump federalized the National Guard. But this is a totally different tactic of using U.S. Capitol Police and possibly, Paul, I'm thinking, making major hiring decisions and transferring people to certain sectors of the country. And that's where I say he mentioned San Francisco, but didn't say anything about it. He said San Francisco has this beautiful federal district. That's our Western federal district, and we need to protect it. And I was thinking, uh-oh, here it comes. We're going to send a bunch of people. But these would be law enforcement officers who are trained in civil rights, not National Guard.
No. So, yes and no, Sean.
Okay.
So they're going to have some of that training, but their primary focus is going to be on enforcing the law. And it's
civil
not,
safety, property and
yeah,
property
that's
and law.
right. That's not kumbaya, community policing. We're going to hug it out. That's if you step off, we're going to respond accordingly. I can't say what I want to say, but
No. I think no. You're totally right. But this would be a police force trained in civil rights, able to do all police functions. That the National Guard, we've talked about this at great depth, has no training in.
the National Guard has no idea how to do enforcement and stuff. They are a branch of the Army. So their mandate is to cull the herd. It is not to seek, win hearts and minds.
No,
And
they're not. They're not social workers.
they're not social workers,
No.
and it's a double negative because they are not trained to the level of a regular 11 Bravo. So
What my read was from Trump's cryptic post, and we've all known Trump a long time, was as soon as he squashes crime in DC,
He's going to fan out.
he's going to San Francisco next. That's what I got out of it, Paul. You say no? You say New York?
absolutely not.
None?
I don't
None?
at all. Sean.
Interesting. What do you think, JC?
It wouldn't surprise me to see him go to San Francisco if they've got an issue. The one thing he needs to be careful about is as they keep screaming authoritarian, he needs to be careful to have massive, great results before he does the same thing somewhere else. Because then those cities will want what he's doing. They think they have to live with this shit. What about Chicago next, right? Oh, that would be interesting. Obviously, LA's kind of tapped out. That's pretty hostile ground. But remember, he's got ICE, and he's got the Capitol Police now, and he's got the National Guard. And he's got 175 billion in his saddlebags. He can pretty much do what he wants to do. And the one thing that I will say about this, and the reason why my head rests easy on the pillow at night, is because I trust his instincts. And you guys, I'm going to temper that with this. The only area where I don't trust his instincts is healthcare. I don't trust his instincts with vaccines or any of the rest of that nonsense. But he's just like your typical big time CEO. And frankly, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm sorry. My story has never changed, folks. You can take that tough CEO that loud talker, that New York brassy billionaire. You put a hospital garment on him and have his ass hanging out. And the first thing he does is not question things. He says, yes, doctor. And Trump is from that generation. He's a boomer.
Yeah.
And that's what boomers do. Yes, doctor. He cannot even wrap his head around how Fauci betrayed him. He really can't.
No.
Fauci's not his focus, but he fucking should be. All right. But I don't expect much with Fauci. I think he's going to do the DOJ and the rest of that with, the usual suspects with Comey and the gang. But I don't think he's going to do anything with Fauci. Medically, he's overmatched. He's just told Bobby, just take care of this, and I don't want any part of it. That's what's going on. So Fauci's going to walk.
He is going to walk. I totally
He
agree
is.
with that.
And he might be the biggest. He might be the biggest mass killer in the history of the United States.
He might be the biggest mass killer in the history of the world.
Yeah.
By his
He
procedure.
makes Chairman Mao and Stalin look like strikers.
Going all the way back to the 1980s AIDS epidemic, and he
Yes.
was refusing to give life-saving drugs. But I digress. Yes, Fauci is the ultimate evil, and I think, John, you're right. It's not going to happen because Trump still believes, from the medical community around him,
Right.
that Operation Warp Speed was the coolest thing that's ever happened for cool stuff.
He can't admit that he failed.
Right.
Well, don't forget Deborah Birx. Remember her? She's just as guilty as well. She was in on that as well. So we had two people leading them down the garden path.
I don't focus on it because, just like John said, it's
not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So I'm looking at.
Let me tell you something, Sean. Fauci's going to end up with an untimely demise.
Well, and judgment ultimately comes at the gates, right? The pearly gates.
Paul, if it was yesterday, it would be too late.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to.
I'm telling you, there. It's just that's the way politics work.
Right. He'll never be tried. He'll.
You want to read me?
I mean,
you want to read me?
83 years old. The old man passed away in the night. Right.
You want to read me a bedtime story? Here's the one I want to hear. A couple of swingers going back and forth, Mayorkas and Fauci, and the rhythm of their rocking would put me to sleep, and the world would be a better place.
Listen, to everyone listening live on X right now, I'm going to ask you to share this podcast because you're not going to get this kind of content anywhere else. It's not just for talking heads. It's for talking heads. Tell the truth, and we'll fight each other over it. And we have all fought each other over specific topics. So repost this. Give the account a follow. Thank you.
And declare independence, Edward. Damn it.
You know what? I work on that constantly as far as kicking out England, the crown, and going it alone and picked up by America if that happens, if Trump is interested. But you know what? There's too many libtards in these eastern provinces. I don't know.
Leave them behind. Leave them behind. Self-determination. Every province goes where they want.
We're going to have to, I think, eventually come to that those terms or agreements because you say, hey, if you want to stay and be a communist, over there, if you want freedom, over here. Because that's what it's going to come down to. Because these people are so stupid, they wouldn't recognize the difference.
No, listen, Edward, I got to tell you, you just need to go ahead and do a Fleetwood Mac song right now as an interlude.
Well, all right. So, Edward, here's the thing.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow, Paul.
It's gone on too long. He made the offer, right? Trump makes deals. He made the offer. and he's let it hang out there. And Carney and all of the liberal PMs have told Trump, "I'm going to fight you," and he goes, "Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fight me."
Yeah.
And he just wait, hold on. He's going to start cranking up tariffs.
Yes, he is.
Canada doesn't exist anymore.
But I know
And you like I get that you're conservative, but I'm telling you that is what is going to happen if the Canadian Parliament keeps fighting Trump to fight Trump for the cause. Will you still be living? Yeah, I'm saying your colony will die because Britain doesn't have the financial resources to
No.
continue Canada. And then all of a sudden you guys will have to figure out what country do we want to be? Because the land will still exist, the people will still exist. And that's how Trump is going to, and probably JD Vance afterwards, it'll take a decade or two, is going to crush Canada and crush by that the globalism that has taken over Canada.
yeah.
And Edward, before you go, just one last word. They need to know the stakes of this. This room I'm sitting in could be Edward's bedroom. It's been offered. I said, get down to that border. I'll come up there and sneak you across. We'll sign you up for all the welfare and shit, and you can be here with no income.
You know what? I think I'm going to swim right across at Detroit. How's that? Pick me up in Detroit.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll go to Niagara. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll go over the falls in a barrel
Now,
and swim
if Paul is listening to this, and I would love to come down there on Wednesday. If I had somebody to cover my friggin' front desk and answer the phone, I would do it.
Yeah.
All right. But I do have, if we can call the shot on like a Saturday night into Sunday, I can be at the Millennium Bridge. I can do it. And when I hear the splash, I'll know it's you.
What's a Millennium Bridge?
It's between Detroit and Ontario. And when I hear the splash, I'll know it's King Edward.
Hey, did they not?
And we'll fish him out. It'll be like It's a Wonderful Life.
Can we bring firearms?
Good one. I love that.
Pull a herd or what?
Hey, no. His life is safe. His life is safe in my hands. He just needs to jump.
It's a rescue mission. We're just gonna bring King Edward, our friend, over and get him started on his path to citizenship.
Yes,
in America.
Of a free nation.
Yes.
Yes.
I do love that.
Not a colonist.
Wait.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Hold on. Let's do a short stop here. Are we talking about Lindsey Buckingham here in the being a U.S. citizen?
Hey, Paul.
Dude, really?
Thunder only happens when it's raining. Have him sing you a few bars of it. You'll see it.
Dude, if he grows that hair just a couple inches taller,
yeah.
we could all watch him, and he'll be on a podcast just painting in the background.
Well, so if it's a couple inches longer, he goes to Joe Cocker status.
Yes. He's gonna lift us up where we belong. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I heard
knock off the Canadian hair jokes already.
I heard
like
somebody
hair
use that
bands in the 80s.
bumper music today on a radio show, and I was like, clearly you know your audience is all 45 and above, because nobody below 45 would know that song.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah. I mean, or the attendees at the Clinton inaugural. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody knows. The young people don't get it. Yep.
All right, so we got a few minutes left, enough to do this segment. I'm seeing a lot of because people do shit on the internet for clicks.
Mm,
It's getting really annoying.
yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of posts with videos saying, when are we going to address black violence? And I want to say, before we get into that, because it's not black violence, this
No,
is
it's not.
liberal culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's liberal. And you go, well, but they're being violent. And I say, well, but who are all of the people who support what they're doing? And I'm going to go, it's 81 million, 44 million white liberal women who say they're the victim. They're not willing to address or uh, have anything to do with just crime in general. They're only looking, these white liberal women are only looking at white criminals. And if it's a black criminal, it's totally ignored and they crowdfund to get them bonded out and removed. The judge. So this whole thing, so this has nothing to do with black culture. And
No.
there's nothing wrong with the black community as a whole. This is a liberal culture problem driven by white liberal women. Edward seems perturbed.
Well, you remember Laverne Spicer? You follow her? I know you do.
Of
She,
course.
she's
She
a
was
friend of
she was a
ours.
little,
She's a friend
her
of ours.
yeah. What's her name there? The what for? Because she brought that same subject matter up, and she's calling her out every name in the book, and I
Yeah.
laughed because she was right, dead on. It has nothing to do with the black or black culture whatsoever. It's all political. It's all libtard talk and double speak. So that's what we're in for here. It has nothing to do with whether you're black, white, yellow. It had nothing to do with that. They're just making it that, although it's not. And I think they're just paid for actors from probably Soros or the Rockefeller Institute in California. I can't remember the name.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Just so I can't remember the exact name of that one funded company that does that. But anyways, yeah, that's what they are. Anyways, just
So, what was it? Starts with an A, right?
I don't remember now. Can't remember.
That's okay.
It's been a couple of years, but yeah,
I
they're
thought it
still
was.
active. What's that?
No, look. Sean's 100% right. It doesn't have anything to do with black skin. It has to do with left wing culture and absolutely no responsibility for anything. And if you want to go to the root cause, which they always say they want to do, how about we go to no fathers in the homes? That's the root cause.
Yeah.
If Uncle Sugar subsidizes dad out of the family, what naturally occurs is feral young boys. That's what happens. Because men will either rule in the family or they'll rule in the streets. It's one or the other. You choose.
Well,
There is no third way. There is no third way where they learn to be responsible, tax-paying, workaholic adults without male influence in their home. Go ahead, Paul.
Detroit.
So I want to tell you guys something. Out here at the ranch, about a mile down the road, we have a historically black college called Jarvis. It's a black Christian university, and so what I have gleaned is that there are at least a dozen or so boys that don't want to go home. They stay in the dorm because the dorm is way better than what they would go back home to.
Right.
So I go out on the campus and I go, hey, I'm cattle and hay. I need me a couple of ranch hands. I pay you $10 an hour. And I always have people working for me. And
Good deal.
And, yeah. And they are, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am to Tanya. You know what I mean? And they fix my fences, they cut, they bale, they do all that nasty stuff that at 68 I just can't do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I pay them cash, and we just have a really good relationship. It just works out really well,
Yeah.
Well, Paul, that to the point you're making, everybody on social media, of course, posting these videos of violence, whether it's black on black, black on white, black on anything else, saying, "Are we going to finally have a convert?" And I say, it's not black culture; it's liberal culture, and you need to understand
That's right.
that it's liberal culture.
That's
and
right.
It's driven by nagging white liberal women.
That's right. And so we're out here in East Texas, bro. I mean, it's as redneck as it gets. But the there's 4 ranches that surround me. 2 of them are black owned and operated. Their kids went to school with my kids. They sneak off and drink a little and do all that.
Imagine that.
Yeah, they're just kids. It doesn't matter what color they are. They're just kids. They do the same thing. They ride around in pickup trucks with people sitting in the back, and
Because it was fun.
all that kind of stuff. It's just never a thing. And so it never occurred to me to not go to this university and post up on the bulletin board, hey, I didn't say, hey, I need some Negroes to work for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just said, hey, I need some help out here. I got 20 acres. I can't handle it by myself. And I've always got these guys, and they're awesome. They are awesome. Well, they respect, especially around Tanya, they're like, yes, ma'am, can I do this? Yes, ma'am, can I? And she's like, let me bring you some tea. No, ma'am, I don't, I got some bottled water over here. You know what I mean? It's just
well mannered.
It really is like America in the 50s.
Yeah. That's
we hit the timer, so let's close it out.
Sorry,
Paul
bro.
just said his thing. No, we're good.
but no, that's our natural state.
JC John, sorry. Things about is it black culture or is it liberal culture? And then we'll finish.
No, our natural state is what Paul described. If the government would just leave us alone.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just leave us alone. Let us do our shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, quit subsidizing fathers out of families, and what results is what Paul's getting.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Just stop it.
Hey, love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a good week.
Absolutely, Edward. You got to explain real quickly. The race war in your country is Muslims. Europeans.
Oh my God.
And Chinese.
Yeah, but you know what? The Muslim community, of course, we all know is not going to be able to bond well with the Christian culture. It's not. And you know what? They keep saying that we've lost our culture because they want to make us believe we don't have a culture. But you go back to the very beginning, the very inception of our country, it's there. We haven't lost it. They're trying to make believe that we've lost it. We haven't. And I don't care how many more you import of the Muslim community, it's not going to change. It's still going to be our country.
That's right.
And it's going to be
you got some Christians up there. Do we ever hear from them?
No, because I think we have over 100 churches that have been burnt down to the ground in the last 3 or 4 years. So,
yeah, but I haven't heard it. I haven't heard from them.
Well, I know.
I saw a Christian once.
That's another story altogether.
They have Amish, but they're not posting online. All right, we're going to close it out. Hey, listen, I have no idea what we'll do on the show tomorrow night. Edward, it's your show tomorrow. What the fuck?
He's sitting there drinking.
Yeah. We got
Good night,
JC on.
everybody.
I think that was it.